Hi, first graders. I'm going to read a story to you first, and then we're going to do a writing assignment that kind of goes along with the story. So, this story is called Who'll Pull Santa's Sleigh Tonight? It's written by Laura Rader. She's the author, which means that she wrote the words, and she's also the illustrator, which means she drew the pictures. Who'll pull Santa's sleigh tonight? Who'll pull Santa's sleigh tonight? Christmas was just around the corner. The toys were wrapped, the lists were checked, Santa's sleigh was polished and ready to go. Let's visit the reindeer, said Santa to Mrs. Claus. So here's Mrs. Claus checking over the list. As they approached the stable, Santa called out, "Hello, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen. Hello, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Are you ready to fly?" The answer was a loud, "Achoo!" Uh-oh. What's your prediction? Where do you think that sneeze is coming from? Oh no, look at the poor reindeer. "Goodness gracious!" exclaimed Mrs. Claus. The reindeer looked miserable. This guy's saying, "Oh, cough, honk, groan." "We all had colds," said Dancer. "Poor dear," said Mrs. Claus. "I feel terrible." Sniffle, moan. "Thank you." So they're all stuffed up. That's why they're talking kind of silly. Poor reindeers. Santa rushed off to tell the elves. "The reindeer are sick. Who'll pull the sleigh?" he asked. "We need a backup plan." And the little elf guys say, "No." Santa paced up and down. He scratched his head and looked serious. "Got to think, got to." And as all the elves find out that the reindeer are sick, they're all saying, "Gasp!" They just can't believe it. They don't know what they're going to do. "This is bad, really bad. Got to think, got to. I think better sitting down. Me too. He can't be serious." Then he had an idea. "We'll find stand ins," he said. So, stand ins are going to be creatures that will take over for the reindeer. All right, look at this. They have a whole line of creatures that want to take over. The sign says, "Auditions today in workshop number 2." And Santa's looking out at the line and he's saying, "Wow, can you fly? I thought I'd wing it. We don't accept bribes." Look at this duck is trying to hand this guy something, saying, "If you hire me, I'll give you whatever's in this envelope." The auditions were announced. A large crowd lined up to try out. These are all the creatures that want to take over the reindeer's spot. Action! The performers were very unusual. These guys are called the Winged Monkeys, the Amazing McQuacks, the Flyaway Hares, the Happy Hoofers. So were their acts. And the little elf guy is saying, "Next!" I'm just going to move the camera up a little bit. There we go. None was right for the job. And the elves and Santa are saying, now I think I've seen it all." "I wished I'd thought of that," said the alligator. "Poor Santa. I think he's upset. Who'll pull the sleigh?" And then Santa is thinking, and finally he says, "I've got it." Santa went to his workshop. He thought, he sketched, he thought some more. Then he had an idea. Look at his drawings. Let's see if you can figure out what he's thinking. "Here's my new plan," said Santa. "Oi, it's silly. It can't be done." "Wow!" There were a few grumbles and groans, but Santa and the elves went to work. They worked hard. They worked fast. At last, they finished. "We did it!" shouted Santa. "Let's show Mrs. Claus." "I still don't believe it will fly. Just wait and see." "Oh, Mrs. Claus." Oh my goodness, look what they created. It's a huge flying reindeer blimp. A blimp is a big balloon. You guys think it's going to work? It was the biggest idea Santa had ever had. And all the elves are down here saying, "Hold tight, don't let go." Ah! Yippee! Whoa! Steady. Oops. Oomph. Pull. Santa prepared for a test flight. "It's a blimp, a balloon, an airship." "Oh my," said Mrs. Claus. The balloon went up, 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 and the elves all cheered, "Hooray!" But the balloon came down, down, down. Pop. Oh! The balloon was deflated, so was Santa, which means that Santa was feeling really sad. If somebody says they're deflated, it just means that they're sad and they feel like giving up. "I'm all out of ideas," he sighed. "I'll bring you a cup of hot cocoa," said Mrs. Claus. Santa sipped the cocoa. "Ah," he said, "this always makes me feel good as new." Santa and Mrs. Claus looked at each other. "I have an idea," said Santa. "Do you think—" "Yes, I do," she finished. Can you guys make a prediction what the idea is? Santa and Mrs. Claus took a big pot of cocoa to the reindeer. "I hope this works," said Santa. And the little elf is saying, "Will it work? Keep your fingers crossed." The reindeer stopped sniffling. They stopped sneezing. They looked much better, and they were ready to fly. "Hot cocoa saved the day," Mrs. Claus said. "I feel terrific. I'm all better. We feel good as new." "Come on, let's fly." And these guys are saying, "Best cocoa I ever had. I like the candy cane. I've got my bells on." Everyone cheered as they flew out of sight. And Santa's saying, "Hot cocoa for all, and to all a good night." And then this is kind of fun. This is a hot cocoa recipe. It's called Santa's Special Hot Cocoa. I'll get close in case you want to show your parents. This is Santa's hot cocoa recipe. Supposedly, that hot cocoa is so good that it will save the day. It even makes reindeers feel better. Okay, so your job is to find these papers in your binder. Let me pull the camera up so you can see what I'm talking about here. There's two papers that I need you to find. This one says elf application, and then it has the box that's checkered. And then this other one that goes with it, it also says elf application, and it has a little elf down here at the bottom. So in the story that we listened to, Santa was trying to find a replacement for the reindeer because the reindeer couldn't do their job. Well, now we're pretending that Santa needs to hire some new elves. So think of all the positions that would be at the North Pole for elves. Okay, so we might need some toy makers. We might need some elves to take care of the reindeer. Some of the elves might need to make the hot cocoa with Mrs. Claus. Some of them might need to be on the sleigh loading duty, or some of them might be in the wrapping department. We're going to pretend that you're applying for a job at the North Pole as one of the elves. So you're going to fill out this application that we're going to pretend that Santa's going to read. So you're going to need your adult to help you. This says name, so you'll put your name, your age, your birthday, and then you're going to fill out these questions. Have you ever played with toys? I bet most of you are going to circle yes. What is your favorite toy? You write that toy's name on the line. Are you naughty or nice? you have two choices, either circle naughty or nice. I think all of you are nice. Are you a good helper at home? Yes or no? Do you like Christmas music? Yes or no? I don't know if Santa could hire an elf that doesn't like Christmas music. Draw a picture of what you would look like as an elf. So right here, you're going to draw yourself as an elf. Remember, let's try to use detail, not just a stick elf. Use detail. Make yourself maybe have pointed ears. Maybe you're wearing like a little Santa hat or elf hat, and you have maybe even bells on your shoes. Then you're going to date it. And the signature means that's how you sign your name. You can sign it kind of fancy if you want. And then your fingerprints, you don't have to do that part. Once you have this filled out, then your next job is to try to convince Santa to hire you. So it says, tell Santa why you would make a good elf. So we're going to write in complete sentences. I want you to write at least 2 sentences. Okay, and we're writing to Santa and we want him to hire you. So if you just say, I live in Corvallis, that's a fact about you, but Santa might be thinking, well, that's cool that they live in Corvallis, but that doesn't really mean that they'll make a good elf. So tell Santa why you would make a good elf. Maybe you just like really, really love Christmas. Maybe your family makes the best hot chocolate. Maybe you think that you'd be really good at taking care of the reindeer because you love animals. So I'm going to write an example here. I want you to write your own ideas. Remember our good sentence structure. Remember, you're going to use uppercase letters at the beginning of each sentence. You're going to finger space, do your best sounding out, and end your sentences with punctuation. So I'm going to start by saying, Dear Santa. I'm going to make mine more as like a letter style. You don't have to do that, but I do want you to write in complete sentences. Dear Santa, I would love to work with the reindeer. Okay, now I need to convince him. I need to tell him why I'd be good at working with the reindeer. I have lots of experience taking care of animals. It's a new sentence. I'm going to remember to start my next sentence with an uppercase letter. I, trying to think here. I would give the reindeers. Actually, I think it's just reindeer. Reindeer is the plural form. I would give the reindeer lots of love and care. Okay, if I had some more room, I'd maybe write another sentence or two, but I'm out of room. And then you're going to sign your name. So I'm going to write Mrs. McEwen. Okay, so first maybe think of which department you would love to be hired in. Maybe it's the toy making, and then tell them why you'd be a good toy maker. Maybe it's baking cookies with Mrs. Claus, and then tell them why you would be a good baker with Mrs. Claus. All right, when you're finished, take pictures of both of these and turn them in. I can't wait to read what you write.